Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a crime began in one state but finished in another. Now officials work together to investigate a murder. And if you're searching for your next concert experience, it could be right here in Kentucky at this year's Healing Appalachia.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this April 22nd. It is 5 o'clock this morning, and that means it is time to check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall. And Megan, I had some fog on my windshield today, a lot of fog as I drove, so that was unexpected for me, honestly.
Yeah, it is going to be a foggy start to the morning, unfortunately. So what that means for you is make sure you're driving slowly, carefully, and you have those low beams turned on this morning. Here's a look at the visibility that you can expect as you're heading out the door. Most of the dense fog is as you're traveling more towards our southern counties. However, we do have some patchy fog places as you're traveling more towards the east too. So just be careful if you do run into any fog patches. Here's a look at satellite and radar right now. It's a cloudy start to the day as well. Staying nice and dry though. Could see some sprinkles as you're traveling into portions of Dickinson County, and then we'll stay dry for most of the day. Here's a look at those current temperatures, mainly sitting in the 50s and 60s with 70s returning back as you're heading into the afternoon. Seeing mid to upper 70s and some lower 70s for our Virginia counties. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. We'll be warming up, hitting a high around that 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock mark. Amelia.
A disturbing crime that started in Virginia ended in a firing scene on a mountain road in Harlan County. KSP troopers say they found 44-year-old Sandra Moore's body inside a burning car off Kentucky 160 on Lynch Mountain Sunday. Her nephew, David Stoneburner, is accused of killing her during a fight at their home in Appalachia, Virginia, then driving her body to Kentucky, placing her in the driver's seat, setting the vehicle on fire, and sending it down an embankment.
We know that a crime occurred in Virginia, which led to her death. And then sometime after the death, we know that he loaded her body up in her own vehicle, drove across the state line into Kentucky.
There has been a search warrant that was executed at the address stated, and items were recovered that indicate that probably the homicide occurred in Watts County.
Stoneburner is in the Harlan County Detention Center facing arson and abuse of a corpse charges in Kentucky. However, he will also face a murder charge in Virginia. Coming up in the next hour, we will have a closer look at the case and charges across state lines. A head-on crash in southern Kentucky claimed the life of one young adult and sent two teenagers to the hospital. It happened on Brindle Ridge Road in Rockcastle County. WYMT's Phil Pendleton takes a closer look at what took place.
First responders were told of an injury crash on Brindle Ridge Road, several miles from Broadhead.
When troopers arrived on scene, it was more than just an injury accident. You know, two vehicles had collided and one gentleman had lost his life.
Police say a teenager was driving a Ford F-250 when it crossed the center line and hit a Dodge Neon driven by 21-year-old Jacob Madden. The coroner says Madden was delivering an Easter basket to a relative and was pronounced dead on the scene. The two teenagers in the pickup were taken to a local hospital.
You know, maybe this accident could have been avoided. Maybe the other accidents that happened yesterday could have been avoided. But just slowing down, using caution.
Kentucky State Police say that the cause of this crash remains under investigation, but they say that they do believe that speed was a likely factor.
Police say that it's tragic that one person died and two were injured, and all were young people. Police say crashes like this send a message.
I'm in the process of my daughter trying to learn how to drive, and it scares me to death. And you know, for these parents that think you can just let your kid go, you know, be nosy with your children. You know, we have apps that we can put on our phones that you can find out their location and how fast they're going.
Police say pay attention to what your kids are doing. It may save their lives. In Rockcastle County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky State Police have not released the names or exact ages of the teenagers in the pickup truck. They say toxicology tests were performed as is routine in most deadly crashes. Yesterday, the Perry County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to a crash involving two vehicles on Highway 15 in Vico near the Georges Branch intersection. A man driving one vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene. Two people in the other vehicle were injured and taken to Whitesburg ARH. No names were released. People advocating for autism spectrum disorder awareness are reacting to a federal leader's recent comments. Last week, U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. made claims that autism comes from environmental toxins and that everyone with autism is severely disabled. The current president of the Autism Society of the Bluegrass says neither of those claims are true.
We're really glad that people are paying more attention to autism and that there are more skilled people who are doing the evaluations of people who present with potential autism.
The Autism Society of the Bluegrass and the ARC of Central Kentucky are hosting a Medicaid information session next Tuesday for parents looking for answers. Two of Eastern Kentucky's biggest stars in country music are coming back home. Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton will headline the Healing Appalachia Festival this fall. Joseph Payton spoke with tourism officials in Boyd County about what this announcement means for that area.
It's the region's own style of music, and it's set to bring thousands to Eastern Kentucky for two of its homegrown stars, Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton.
When you look at the lineup, it's impressive for anywhere. I mean, we're bringing our superstars home. So, I mean, my phone has just been blown up all day. I've never had so many friends. Everyone wants tickets. Everyone wants to volunteer.
Needless to say, people are pumped for Healing Appalachia 2025, including Andrew Steele of Boyd County Tourism and Convention Bureau.
Getting to drop Chris Stapleton and Tyler Childers as a way to raise money for this charity it's huge.
This year's festival is scheduled to take place on September 19th and 20th at the Boyd County Fairgrounds. It helps raise money for Hope in the Hills, a nonprofit organization committed to combating the opioid crisis and supporting recovery.
You know, the meaning behind this festival is great. Yep. You know, being able to help people is awesome. And, you know, like I said, they're all volunteers. They're passionate about this charity.
The charity's board president, Dave Lavender, echoed those same thoughts in a statement saying, moving the festival to Eastern Kentucky and to the heart of the country music highway, we could not be more excited or humbled to have two of the Commonwealth's greatest songwriters and voices for their people, Chris Stapleton and Tyler Childers. In Boyd County, Joseph Payton, WSAZ.
Steele recommends booking a hotel as soon as possible if you plan to attend the music festival in September, and dozens of additional artists will be announced in the months to come. And thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. It's 5:07. Still to come, we'll take an in-depth look at how cardinals from all over the world now gather to select a new pope.
And we'll enjoy a break from the rain before more is on the way.